to our question, there seems to be, with modern dating, things are changing all the time. So there seems to be a debate around what the dating terms mean and what the different statuses mean. So here's a question we've gotten a lot, which is, how do you know you're dating someone? What does dating actually mean? Back in the day, when I was in high school, we would say we were going out or we were talking. That used to be the language around it. But now I feel like we just resort to say we're dating. And we've also heard people, some of our friends say, oh yeah, this person I used to date. And it turns out they went on one date or not even. That's
what I was going to say. I'm like, when someone says they're dating, that means that they could be in a committed relationship.
Yeah.
Or it means they went on one date. It's really hard to know.
Yeah. It's a really wide range. So
talking is such a weird term to me.
Or hanging out. It seems so casual.
Yeah. Seems so, So how do you know you're dating? Well, I think it probably is, how do you define it in the first place? If you're just defining it as going on dates with someone even once, then you're technically dating. I don't know. I usually feel like if someone was going to ask you this, it's just getting that clarification of what it means to you and what it means to them. And I mean, at the end of the day, it almost is a catch-all statement, and I wonder how much it really even matters. Because people know when you're in a relationship or when something's half-assed at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely. You could be, there's also you can't really put a number to it because you could have gone on 6-7 dates with someone.
Right.
Over the span of 2 years. Would you say that you've been dating for 2 years?
Yes, people do
people say that. Yes, people say that.
That's why I feel like whenever someone says, we've been dating for 3 months, 4 months, it's really hard to know what that really means.
Yeah. I guess the root of this is, how important is it to you? And what does it mean to you? Is it important for you to say, I'm dating someone if you've been on a few dates with them? Or is it more that you want them to acknowledge that you two are dating?
Yeah.
And it changes.
Technically, you're not lying either way.
No.
So it's more of just how you define it. I think... Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I think I would say I'm dating someone versus I'm in a relationship with someone.
What about seeing someone? Is that different to you?
Seeing someone kind of blends to me as dating, but maybe if I've only seen them a couple times. But I think I would just say I'm dating someone.
Oh, interesting. I feel like the progression is I'm seeing someone, I'm dating someone, I'm in a relationship with someone. That's how I see it.
I don't know. I also hate saying I have a boyfriend because it sounds so juvenile, doesn't it? No, I mean, I love saying it to say it, but I'm just saying the words sound like you're back in 8th grade. That's what I
love
mean.
it. That's why I love it, because it doesn't make you sound like an old married couple. It's like,
true.
We're boyfriend, girlfriend. We're sneaking out of our parents' houses to hang out with each other.
It's just funny to me, because as you're almost 40 and you're like, I have a boyfriend, I have a girlfriend. It just sounds so ridiculous.
Well, I also know 80-year-olds who have boyfriends, so spans all ages. But labels are so weird, right?
They are.
I mean, I think partner.
Yeah, I think I think deep down everyone knows what their situation is. Whether you want to admit it or not is another story.
Yeah.
But deep down, when you're questioning things a lot, that's when there's a lot of uncertainty, and it doesn't really even matter if you're seeing someone or dating someone, it kind of is one and the same.
Yeah. But if you were to quantify it, this is how I would quantify it in my head. It's date 1 through 5. You're seeing someone, you're getting to know them. And if you've been on 5 dates with someone with the potential of keep seeing them in a short amount of time, then I would say you can progress to we are dating. And then once you DTR or define whatever the relationship looks like, then you're in a relationship. That's how I would quantify it in my head.
That's a pretty good rough estimate one. The only problem with it is when the timelines come in of number of months, like we were just saying.
Yeah, it needs to be within a short time span for these 5 days.
It needs to be within a month and a half, I think.
A month or two.
2 months max.
Yes.
2 months max.
Yes.
Anything more than 2 months, you're just barely seeing the person.
But what about people who have really long virtual relationships?
Ooh, this one's tricky because personally, I still don't believe a date is a date until you've met in person.
Mm-hmm.
I know we've talked to some people that say, oh, I've been dating this person, and it turns out they only met once because they've been talking through virtual means for a couple months. I don't consider that dating someone. I consider that you went on one date with them. But that's just me.
Yeah. I had a hard time with this because I went on dates with someone in real life, 3 to 5 dates, something like that. And then we were apart for many months and we kept in touch over Skype. But to me, it was hard to say that we were dating because we had just started. But we also weren't not dating.
Right.
So it gets tricky if the virtual part comes in the middle of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think again, it goes back to it's a label.
Yeah.
And while labels are important in the sense that it puts you on the same page as someone, I think when there are all these like nuances, you kind of know if it's a thing or if it's not.
Yeah. How about we just change the vocabulary to, I met someone great.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's
all you need to say.
I like it. I'm looking. Yeah. I think also I love the changing the vocabulary. I think I read this in a book somewhere. I'm not going to give myself credit. I forget where. But it was instead of saying all the laundry list of things you're looking for, it's like, I'm just looking for someone wonderful.
Yeah.
And you know what that means to you. But then it comes off not as... Because we get this in our Facebook group all the time. It's a little cringy when people see on dating apps the laundry list of things that people want. But I also know where they're coming from. They know what they want. They have a clear picture. And those aren't bad qualities. But for whatever reason, when you convey that out loud, it comes off that you have this laundry list.
Right.
And that you're a little rigid maybe, when in theory you just might be clear. Where I think if you say, I'm looking for someone wonderful, it makes you feel like you're super open-minded, but you in your head know what wonderful means to you.
Yeah, as long as you have the definition. And wonderful is a collection of different traits that you don't need to say out loud to anybody else but yourself.
Yeah,